Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit-Down. Finally got back to the movies last night, man. I was passed out by like 7:38 on Monday and Tuesday trying to fight this cold off. It's still here, but I had enough energy to get myself to the theater, man. I want to go see this movie before we got to Thursday when Mortal Engines drops. So everything that's coming this weekend, I was like, I want to get this one in, and I'm so glad I did. I was psyched from this movie the minute I saw the trailer. It looked really entertaining, looked like it was going to be sharp and witty. Throw in that it's got Olivia Colman, Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone. Woo! I'm already salivating at the mouth, man. Then you say it's Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm in. I'm in. If you don't know Yorgos, check out The Lobster, Killing of the Sacred Deer. Really, really solid flicks. Kind of an acquired taste. I know Yorgos doesn't work for everybody, but if you're a Yorgos fan, dude, this guy, love him. So I was psyched to go see this movie, and I'm glad I did, man, because I really, really dug it. Spoil up a chair, take a seat. We're getting ready to dive in, spoiler free. The Favorite. Now, like I said, I was already pumped coming into this movie, and then you get to see the Golden Globe and SAG nominations, and you see that the Globes, we're getting Best Actress in a Musical Comedy, Olivia Colman. Best Supporting Actresses in a musical comedy from Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone. The movie in general for musical or comedy nominated, and the screenplay nominated. Then you jump over to the SAGs, and all three women nominated again. A little disappointed, especially after seeing it, that Yorgos doesn't get a nomination here. I certainly hope his DP does, because the cinematography in this movie is wonderful. Like I said, we're kind of diving into a period piece, a fictional period piece set in early England. You have Olivia Colman, who's playing Queen Anne. One of her ladies, Lady Sarah, played by Rachel Weisz, and then Lady Sarah's cousin Abigail shows up on hard times, just looking for a job, and that's played by Emma Stone. And like I said, it's a period piece, so you're in this world of lords and ladies and kings and queens and crazy hair pieces and makeup all over the dudes and drastic makeup on the women. It's a time period that I love, and the camera work just so complements the period in which we are. I really loved some of the shots of, you get a couple parties throughout the movie, and there's just these wonderful shots of the camera that kind of slow-mo go by, and you just see the whole crowd and the way they're acting and all the crazy get-ups that they're in. It's really, really wonderful. Then there's, some really nice close-up work, some really nice low-angle shots that I think popped every time. There's a hallway that we're in throughout this movie, and constantly, some days it's lit, other times you've got candles, and I just like the way the lighting works in those shots, and the way the camera shoots in those spots. The whole movie is really wonderful to look at, including the color palette. I think the color palette really works too when you're talking about this type of time period. So everything you're watching, wonderful. Then Yorgos is just getting everything from all of his actors, man. Olivia Colman. I'm going to come back to Olivia Colman, but she's absolutely phenomenal. She's kind of this crazy queen. You learn some tragedy that's happened to her in her life that kind of makes sense as to why she kind of snaps sometimes, or just emotionally breaks out of nowhere. I love that kind of erraticness to her character. But then the main chunk of this movie really focuses on our two other women. Rachel Weisz, who's Lady Sarah, she's kind of the queen's handmaiden. One of those. She's a lady, so she's not a servant. And they just kind of have this relationship where she can kind of help advise the queen and type of that type of stuff. And Emma Stone shows up, like I said, down on hard times, just asks for any kind of a job. She starts in the kitchen. And eventually becomes Lady Sarah's maid. And as that plays out, you start to see them both positioning themselves throughout the entire movie. It's like a giant chess game between the two of them. You get a ton of it from Rachel Weisz early, as far as the way she can influence the queen and the politics behind a lot of the moves that she's making. And then when Abigail shows up, man, you start seeing Emma Stone counter these moves to position herself where she might be able to climb back. She came from being a lady, and then the family fell on hard times, so nothing now. Trying to get back to being a lady. And it's wonderful, man. And their conversations, their dialogue is so sharp, so witty. You're laughing out loud a good amount of time when they're going back and forth. But it does play to some drama, and they naturally flow in and out of both of those positions. As we've seen, both of them come from comedy and then become really, really, really solid actresses. So they really do. They flow in and out of that so well, and the way that they kind of manipulate and have the queen in the middle of the whole movie. It's a fascinating chess match. But then, man, Olivia Colman, she comes into the back part of this movie, and all of a sudden she's kind of like a little bit more hip to what's going on, and the way in which she reacts and does things in the back half of this movie, woo! I loved it, man. And same thing, she's super, like when she is coherent, she's super sharp and witty with her dialogue delivery. She's get some of those loopy moments that she has are just natural, like smile on your face, because she has these things where she just experiences like and shows you emotionally like pure joy or anger or sadness, and it just kind of happens spontaneously. And it works so well. Of course, even though the ladies carry so much of this movie and really are the thing, the people in the movie that make it pop the most, they do get some really nice additions on the supporting cast side. Nicholas Hoult, who I'm a huge fan of, plays this guy Harley. He's basically the opposite, like on the opposite side politically from Rachel Weisz. Rachel Weisz is really trying to push a war. She wants to keep feeding in with this war with France. And Harley's like, I'm running out of money. This is too expensive, and we need peace. So again, even though this is a fictional story, some basis to general history, and things that were going on at that time. And across from him is James Smith, who plays Godolphin. And Godolphin is kind of, Rachel Weisz's right hand on the political side of things. And I think he's like one of the military guys, but also always pushing for the war. So there's some really nice bits between James Smith and Nicholas Hoult. And the way they manipulate the women, or try to manipulate the women. Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, they don't take crap from nobody in this movie. But they really do add some nice supporting cast performances. And like I said, overall, this movie is just solid, man. It's sharp, it's witty, it's poignant. I loved everything that was going on in The Favorite. And when you find out who the ultimate favorite is, there's actually this really cool kind of like triple crossfade where you have like 3 different camera shots and the dissolve is kind of fading all of them together. It really, really solid camera stuff toward the end, but that kind of all leads to where you find out who the actual favorite is and whether or not they're happy about where they are. I loved it, man. This movie's so good. If you like period pieces, if you're a Yorgos fan, you're going to go love the crap out of this movie. And even if you don't dig the movie, you are going to love our 3 leading ladies, Olivia Colman, Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone. Can't say enough good things about their performances. All 3 of them absolutely spectacular. That's all I got to say about The Favorite, man. Now it's your turn. I want you to hit those comments down below. If you have seen the movie, what'd you like? What'd you not like? Did it work for you? Are you a Yorgos fan? Did you just love these 3 women? Were they enough for you to make the movie work? Did you think it was funny? Let me know all that. If you haven't seen the movie, I hope I've enticed you because it is a good one. But leave all that down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, hit that subscribe and little bell so you get alerts every time I make a new video. For the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down, I'm the Seaman, and I am signing off. Peace!
Yay, what's up guys? Seaman here, letting you know that the fun doesn't have to stop. You can keep it going by clicking on this video or this video. And if you want other options, you could hit that guy and subscribe and check out all the videos. I'm just saying.